Look at that football head hair. All right. Welcome back. After a bit of a hiatus. It was more of a high anus than it was a hiatus. Dealing with back-to-back fucking chest colds and ugh. I'm like 90%, but I'm much better, but It was shitty. It was shitty. Anyways, welcome to the Plump. We're back. We are not dead. And tonight, we're going to be watching, or at least we're going to see how, we're going to see how far we can get through. I just closed out my chat window. Hold on here. Such a disgrace. Okay, there it is. Tonight we're going to be venturing into the realm of the Satanic Panic videos from the 80s. And as much as I'd like to say this whole Satanic Panic shit has came and went, it's not. It's back. It's in full force, and now it has the power of the internet and social media behind it. I think it's a lot more effective now than it was back in the 80s, unfortunately. But tonight we're going to be watching a video called 1984's Deception of a Generation. And this was created by a guy named Gary Greenwald, who basically him and another guy named Phil Phillips, which, yeah, that doesn't sound like a made-up name. They're going to basically talk about how children's toys of the time had ties to Satan and the occult. Now you're thinking 1984, what are some popular toys in 1984? I know those, that I was right in that generation. He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, whatever. So, yeah, they're going to be going over all that shit. I hope there's some Cabbage Patch Demons, because those little fuckers were demonic. That I will agree with. So, Mask was awesome. I had a couple of Mask toys. What was the lyrics? Secret raiders who work overtime, fighting crime, working as mimes. I don't know. Let me switch over here. I had the one that looked like a blazer. It was like a black blazer. They had a little gun turret that popped out. It was like the old K Blazer. Okay, let's switch over. I think he was a bad guy, but the bad guys always had cooler looking shit. Anyways, here we go. Hi-fi sound, so we're good here.
Eagle's Food. From the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah, that was the name of his production company, was the Eagle's Nest. Some of the motion tracking isn't so good on here, but once we get to the main video, it looks a lot better. It's a little loud. Oh, we can turn it down.
With Gary Greenwald.
I'd rather have it be a little loud.
This unique program combines the dynamic ministry of God's Word, the discussion of contemporary issues, and the...
This guy did a video on Halloween, too, so we might want to, maybe, if I can remember next time, Halloween 2024, we might watch it. If this proves to not be completely boring.
Demonstration of God's power. Now, here's Gary Greenwald.
I mean, it is an hour and a half. I don't know if we're going to get through a whole hour and a half. Speaking of that, if we don't get through this and we do Apollo Amateur Night, I'm pretty sure we got through all of the Steve Harvey shit, or at least the majority of it. So we might have to move on to someone else. Part 1. This is an hour and a half, and it's part 1.
Hello, I'm Gary Greenwald, and over the past several years, the Eagle's Nest Ministries has exposed certain things.
Yeah, and funny enough, he did go hard on Steve, and funny enough, the only the other amateur nights that we haven't touched on were the ones hosted by Mark Curry, who apparently was the guy that Steve ripped off of.
Like rock and roll music, Dungeons and Dragons, marijuana, and even the New Age movement. And now we feel there's another...
He went from Dungeons and Dragons to marijuana?
Eagle's Nest Ministries has exposed certain things like rock and roll music, Dungeons and Dragons, marijuana, and even the New Age movement. And now we feel there's another attack upon our society. If I say something like wicked witches and demon clouds and spell books and even the zone of eternal evil, what comes to mind? What do you think of? Do you think of a coven of witches?
I got a demon cloud for you.
Or a seance? Watch now.
Wicked witches? Demon clouds? Where do we...
Did we do all... Pretty much. I was going through them, and I think we got through at least all the ones he has on there. But yeah, I think it ended with Doobie. 13 Ghosts of Scooby. Is that Vincent Price?
Start, Mr. Van Gool.
You start by getting that spell book before those foolish witches
Gets my egg coloring kit as well.
destroy the world.
We've got some witches to splat.
I don't know if I... Wait, hold on. I don't want to play too much Scooby-Doo because that might get me in trouble.
Postcard.
Good luck with...
By the way, fuck Scrappy-Doo. I fucking hated Scrappy-Doo. Fucking bullshit.
Locked within this stone, transport me now to the evil zone. I hope I find that mist.
You know, you've been watching a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and it's amazing to me to see what's being brought forth in a cartoon. We've seen spell books, occultic amulets, we saw a crystal ball, astral projection to the evil zone, all of this in a children's cartoon. Now, I've got a guest today. His name is Phil Phillips. He's from Texas. He has been involved in missions work in his
look at Phil there.
Life, and
Phil likes to have a good time.
He has now felt called to study the effects.
Is this a real TV? It just says demonism.
Of cartoons and children's toys and even TV programs upon our children today. And I'd like to introduce...
He's got such a smug little shit face, too.
A young man. And Phil, God bless you, and it's good to see you today.
Pleasure being here today, Gary.
Now, Phil, I'll tell you what, 14 years ago, Scooby-Doo was a lot different than what we see today, and I could hardly recognize it. Can you tell me what's going on in this cartoon?
Yes, there's a vast movement toward the occult within the cartoon and toy industry. Most people don't realize that 80% of all cartoons deal directly with the occult. And
I don't like this guy's mouth for some reason.
40% of the toys on the market have occultic influence, and these are the most popular.
And these
His mouth bothers me.
toys are actually a mirror of the cartoons. Is that correct?
Right. They're released together. It's a form of marketing where the toys and the cartoons are released together to create this popularity for the toys.
Now, you have a concern.
It's quite exhilarating.
I know that all of this is affecting our youth, and I wanted to know, do you feel that there are a lot of children that are being influenced by the cartoons they watch?
Oh, yes. Take, for instance, a cartoon like He-Man and Masters of the Universe. It can be seen
Masters of the Universe.
as many as 31 times a week.
He's signaling. Is it gay coding? It was the 80s, you know. They couldn't be out. They couldn't be open about it. They couldn't be loud and proud.
In an area with a viewing audience as much as 16 million children each time it's aired. And so we're seeing a vast effect on the whole United States and other countries around the world through the...
I myself look through the windows of the houses of these children to find out if they're actually enjoying these cartoons.
These cartoons and toys.
Millions of children now watching occultic cartoons and then going out and buying occultic toys. Now, could we say that there is witchcraft and occultic practices that are actually being portrayed in these cartoons?
Oh, yes. The witchcraft and occult practices are not make-believe. They're taken from actual witchcraft, actual pagan religions, levitation, mind control, astral projection.
He's very serious. Ass projection.
And other forms of witchcraft ceremonies are portrayed within the cartoons.
All of these things are
Yeah, like he never totally closes his mouth when he talks.
portrayed in the cartoons?
Yes, very much so.
Well, then we could suspect that there's some kind of a...
I mean, look at that mustache. What kind of signal is this guy sending? I'm so glad Romer... I know, he was... I mean, with that hair, I mean, this guy, right? Same way.
spiritual force behind these things to program our children.
Oh, yes. The children receive this in a very different light than we do.
Well, before we talk about that, let's go into another Scooby-Doo cartoon, and let's see some of the occultic and witchcraft influences that are very blatant in this cartoon. Let's go to Scooby-Doo again here.
Oh, more goddamn Scooby-Doo.
We meet again, Vincent.
As you can see, she has a fabulous set of heels on. I mean they're demonic. Sorry.
Marcella! So you're the evil mist. But how did you wind up in the zone?
Oh, I was swept here by a spectral wind after I escaped your chest of demons.
From one trap to the next. You never were terribly clever, were you?
I mean, at least Vincent Price got some work in his later years, right? I mean, because I know he was getting pretty old, and again, you know, he was one of those, you know, he couldn't really find much work elsewhere. Well, he got work on Thriller, that's right. Yeah, because he got Thriller, which I'm sure led to him getting voice work on Scooby-Doo. So good for him.
Marcella. No!
Oh, yes, Van Goor. While you rot here, my sister witches will set me free at last to haunt the...
Marcella.
Oh, I do. Once they reach Stonehenge and make...
I'm going to skip this just because, you know, you get it.
They're about to start their spell.
Honestly, this just sucks. Like, this is a shitty part of Scooby-Doo. Like, Scooby-Doo in the 80s was terrible.
I can hardly believe what I'm seeing here. Now, we're looking at occultic things. We're seeing things like the chest of demons and witches and Stonehenge and occultic spell 13. I mean, we're talking about satanic things here. Now, Phil, it's becoming obvious to me what's going on, and I wonder, how did you get started in exploring all of this? I mean, how did you get into analyzing the toy industry?
I think Phil's pants are getting tighter over there.
Well, it was very unusual. I was in the process of going on the mission field and working my way through that and speaking in different churches. The Lord directed me to go on a 14-day fast. And during this fast, I did something very unusual. I walked into a toy store.
Yeah, so I hadn't eaten in 12 days, and I wasn't sure where I was. I slapped an old lady thinking she was the devil incarnate. I realized it was my grandmother.
And when I walked in the toy store, I was faced with a toy holding an occult symbol in its hand. And this got my curiosity up, so I...
Yeah, very northeast. Yeah, this dude, he definitely did some very homoerotic hazing in his college years.
I purchased the toy, and I read the comic book that was with it, and it was occultic practices within the comic book. So I talked about it in the church I was in that night, but I didn't think much of it. I threw it in the back seat of my car. About 3 days later, I was driving home from these series of services, and the Lord spoke to me about what happens when a child plays with a toy and how they project themselves with their imagination into a toy, and they give it life, character, abilities, talents, and they set the surrounding around the toy.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you're saying a child...
Now, wait a minute, kid. What the fuck are you talking about here?
Actually projects himself into the toy. Can you say that again? Because
it's called imagination, dick.
I think that's a real key here. That the cartoons have this kind of
it's part of child development.
Kind of effect upon the child and even the toys.
Yeah, the toy is a lifeless hunk of plastic, and it only comes to life with that projection of the imagination into a toy.
Yeah.
And they give it life, character, abilities, talents, and set the surroundings around the toy.
So the child vicariously lives through that toy.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord told me that children were being affected by these things.
Because I didn't sit here and watch the whole fucking thing to know I had to put part sound effects to
and
it.
that I was to do something about it, which preceded in me starting studying this material over 2.5 years ago.
Well, we've seen over the last several years a slow, subtle occultic influence in our cartoons, but it's become so blatant. When do you feel this blatant turn towards the occult and witchcraft really took on its momentum?
Well, there's a cartoon called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe really broke the ground on this cartoon occultism. In fact, it said...
These guys, I do remember they spend a lot of time on He-Man, which makes sense.
So many records. It was turned down by all 3 major networks, by the way. It was the first cartoon to go through independent TV stations as a first-run cartoon, and it covers 95% of America.
So you're saying He-Man was like an occultic forerunner to really blast this into the public's eye.
Oh, yeah. The cartoon...
I got a blast for you. Oh, shit.
But He-Man was such a tremendous success. In fact, it got as much as a 22-point Nielsen rating in many areas when it was shown. And that's market control, as you know.
Well, I think what we should do is let's watch on the screen right now and see an opening to a He-Man series and see some of the occultic overtones as we begin this. We're going to play a little segment here showing the transformation of He-Man.
Power of Grayskull!
Where the hell is it? Hold on for just a second.
Well, now, Phil, here we're seeing a
That was quite exhilarating,
transformation
Phil.
of He-Man from a wimp, like a Clark Kent type of character, to the He-Man, and he says something like the power of Grayskull. Is that correct?
Yes, what you just seen is He-Man being transformed. In fact, his name is Adam.
Yeah.
First man.
Interesting.
Until he's transformed, and then he becomes He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, by lifting his sword in the air and yelling by the power of Grayskull. Now, to understand this, we have to understand what Grayskull is. It is a castle built by unknown hands in the shape of the skull.
Wait, unknown hands? They never said who built it. Like, I mean, they never didn't say who built it. It was just a castle.
And there's a demon spirit living within it that manifests in the
Okay, it's not a demon.
shape of a skull. And so our good character is empowered by occultic demon spirits.
You're kidding me. So all of this is coming forth, and the children, whether consciously or subconsciously, are picking up all these occultic overtones.
Oh, very much.
You know, I received this letter. I thought I might read it here. A lady had written to the Eagle's Nest, and she said, "How harmless are the cartoon characters on the Masters of the Universe program for children? My sister-in-law allowed..."
Now, as a kid, I never called it Masters of the Universe. I just called it fucking He-Man. You playing with your He-Man figures?
Her son to watch this television show, and he also has all the characters: He-Man, Skeletor, who you see on the screen,
Beastman, Stinkor, Merman, Man-at-Arms.
screen right now, and the Castle of Grayskull, to which this little
Orko.
2-year-old boy repeats from the show, by the power of Grayskull. Here's a little boy repeating, 2 years
That's the little boy. He looks just like Skeletor.
old, by the power of Grayskull, and she says he holds his hand up, saluted to the sky. So a 2-year-old is actually learning these things.
Well, the Bible says, "Dear children, let nothing take God's place in your hearts. Right? And He-Man is being lifted up as a God, and many children are receiving him as such. In fact, I was talking to one lady, and I've heard a number of experiences like this, but she said, my little boy was in the back seat of the car, and a radio preacher came on and said, "Our Lord God, the Master of the universe." And her boy jumped from the back seat of the car and said, "Mommy, God isn't Master of the universe, He-Man is."
Well, he's right. I mean, he's not wrong.
What? A little boy said that He-Man is the master of the universe?
Oh, even more so. I've got another one. My dad was talking about my presentation in a church, and a little
Your dad was talking about
boy
it?
was seen afterwards. I mean, I didn't even do the presentation. And afterwards, he was seen in the parking lot. Now, this is a kid growing up in a Christian home, going to church, Sunday school, the whole shot.
Right.
Out in the parking lot with He-Man in his hand, running around in circles saying, "He-Man has more power than Jesus. He-Man has more power than Jesus."
So,
I mean, you know. I mean, hey, man.
so we can assume that millions of children that you say watch these programs are having their minds transformed from reading the Word of God or believing what the Bible says to believing what the cartoons are saying. They have that kind of influence on their minds.
Right, they're taking on many gods. Many gods.
Well, let's look.
You know, Phil strikes me as the kind of guy who, after a night of vigorous lovemaking, he likes to wrap his genitals in saran wrap to seal in the flavor for later.
Let's look at what this is spawning in our toy stores. Each cartoon is spawning little toys that represent the cartoon. Is that correct?
Right.
All right, then I'm going to show you a He-Man figure here. And he's got this, what do you call this sword here?
It's a staff, dipshit. It's a big, long, hard staff. It's kind of curved a little bit in the middle. Kind of curves to the right.
That's the sword of power. But as we've talked about He-Man, he becomes transformed. Now, from He-Man, we need to take a look at Skeletor.
Okay, now this is the He-Man, a muscular figure and so forth that mostly little boys follow, I take.
Excessively muscular.
Right.
But the little girls have someone too.
Oh, many little girls play with this toy.
Oh, really? Well, let's look at Skeletor now. We've got him up on our screen. And Skeletor is this ugly-looking skeletal creature with a staff in his hand. Now, what's that staff that he's got in his hand?
The staff is a ram's head staff. Now, the ram's head is a very occultic symbol. It's
Now, didn't He-Man or didn't Skeletor have the same... he had like a purple version of his sword, of He-Man's sword, and He-Man had the gray sword, and I think you could like connect them to make like the ultimate dick sword.
boiled in cauldrons. It's used in different
Like if you had both pieces, you were the master of the universe.
occult practices. But when it's seen on the staff, it's called a Norok. And when the Norok is pictured in occult books, many times it's pictured with the butt of the staff crushed onto the head of a dove. Now, Skeletor introduces most of the occult within the toy series. He has the ability to mind control, to levitate, to ask.
Now I just want to listen to the CKY Skeletor versus Beastman. I just want to watch that video, but I don't know if we can get away with that.
Astral project, and to do many other occult practices and pagan religion practices.
So you're telling me little boys, for instance, could watch Skeletor with his staff of power here, and they could, and you say this was actually used to crush a dove that represents total satanic power. Of course, we know that the goat's head, the ram's head, represents Satan anyway in the occult. So little boy...
Well, goat and a ram, I've seen the goat's head. Isn't a ram's like... A ram is not a goat, though. I don't know. They're from the same family? I don't know.
Are really being programmed to evil.
I don't know. I'm distracted by these chairs.
And where does Skeletor live?
Well, Skeletor lives in Eternia with He-Man. Now,
Okay, first off, it's Eternia, not Eternia. Get it together, Phil. Jesus Christ. I think he's got stinkor up his ass right now.
Eternia is a good world that they live in, and we'll see some things about Eternia a little later on.
Now, who lives in Snake Mountain?
Well, Skeletor lives in Snake Mountain.
Could we talk about Snake Mountain for
Sure,
just a minute?
let's take a look at it.
Now, we have a toy
Oh, they're going to bring out Steak Mountain.
that we got at the store.
I had Steak Mountain. Is he going to use the microphone
which
thingy?
is called simply Snake Mountain. I thought I'd get this toy up here if we can get that on the screen. And
yeah, he's holding on to that chair, the arm there, quite tightly.
here's the snake and all. I mean, this is definitely an occultic toy. And it's got an interesting little feature here. I'm going to turn it on. It can actually
Yeah, he's going to do it.
transform your voice from...
Yeah, I had Snake Mountain. And there was like a little microphone. It looked like a wolf head.
your regular voice to that of an occultic hero. Is that correct? So let's get a Skeletor type of voice.
Volume down there.
Let me turn this on here. I think I'm getting it too loud. Skeletor, the master of the universe. Does that give you kind of an example of...
Yeah, that was pretty satanic.
You should see the commercial they play with it. You know, it transforms your voice into that of an evil.
So
It's quite exhilarating.
little children would actually use that to even identify more.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's cupping right here. What is he hanging on to right here in his right hand?
With these occultic heroes.
Yeah, all it did was add just kind of a shitty reverb effect to your voice, but most of the time it was just feedback.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I think it would be interesting if we went to another video showing...
But the little face, there was that little face on Snake Mountain. It had a little lever where you could like kind of move the lower part of the jaw to make it look like it was talking. That was it.
even more of the occultic overtones in
Yeah, he's gripping his occultic staff down there.
these different characters. So let's go to another He-Man serial right now showing the occult.
You have a great challenge facing you, He-Man. Perhaps the greatest of your life. Have you ever heard of the Star Seed?
I thought it was a myth.
It is no myth. It is real. And it is right here in Eternia. Let me show you in the mirror. Eternia is an unusual planet, for we are located directly in the center of the universe. It was
That was quite an impressive angle there, wasn't
here
it?
where we now stand that the explosion took place which created the universe billions of years ago. At the very center of our planet, there is a small piece of the energy left from that explosion. The very energy which set the stars burning and the planet spinning. The Star Seed. Speak a thing to the Star Seed and it makes it happen.
That's right.
It can do anything.
Shoot your star seed in it, He-Man.
It is all powerful. For untold ages, the location
Ah, the contrast on this.
of the Star Seed was known only to a chosen few of the cosmic enforcers. But its location is no longer a secret. At this very moment, Skeletor is tunneling
Oh, Battle Cat is stunned. He can't believe what he's seeing.
his way to the center of Eternia. Can you imagine what would happen?
Is this possible, Phil, as we're watching this witch talking, she's talking about the creation of the universe, how it was created with a great big explosion, or what some of the scientists would call the Big Bang Theory today, which totally throws out creationism. And
Yes.
then we see her
I think that's Tila on the screen there.
saying that Starseed is all-powerful, and she mentions Skeletor and Castle Grayskull, which we'll get to a little later. But all of this, I mean, we're seeing such occultic overtones, and this segment we just played was not something we looked for. We just turned on the TV and recorded the first segment we saw. Isn't that correct?
That's right.
Well, I want to get back to
Nice editing there.
exposing some of these characters that we see in
Cringer was gay. Adam was gay.
the cartoon. So, Phil, would you tell us about the characters we're seeing on the screen right now?
Well, we have a good versus evil here. Battle.
Damn, man, Tila got them thighs, man. Look at that shit. Thick.
But the good is empowered by satanic power. This is Tila. They call her the warrior goddess or the patron saint of all warriors. You notice that she's wearing a cobra.
I'd have a very hard... Look at that, man. Yeah, thighs by Mattel.
cobra head breastplate and has a cobra head staff in her hand. Now the cobra is the symbol for demonic power and protection. And this,
I mean, like, if you're Adam, right, and you got them thighs walking around you, and you're still like, yeah, I'm into the dudes, then, and I mean, you're into the dudes, man, because any red-blooded man walking around with them thighs, I don't know.
this young lady is
They're like, damn, Tila, what you doing with that snake?
involved in witchcraft, and you'll notice that she's a very voluptuous looking thing, and they wear very
Very voluptuous.
tightly clad clothes and sometimes even negligee type things on the show.
So there's a
Okay, nobody wears fucking negligee on the show, you fucking dipshit, dirty bastard.
sensuality about the
Yeah, this guy's one of those, like, thank you, sir, may I have another?
toys also.
Yes. This character is called Many Faces. Now, in a cartoon, Many Faces becomes demon-possessed by drinking a magical potion that Skeletor gives him. Now,
Is that true? I just thought he changed his face and that, like, changed his mood or something.
he is released from that. He becomes a good character, but he still has the demon living within him, and every once in a while it wells up inside and makes him an evil character again. So he crosses back and forth.
You mean little children with a Many Faces toy. Now I've got the little Many Faces
Yeah, Fisto. Was it Fisto? Ah, shit. No, that ain't working.
toy here, can actually see him transform from a demon-possessed skeleton type of creature to a good guy.
And back.
I guess what you do with the toy, if we might try it here, is you can turn this little deal and you can make his face change.
There you go.
And there
There
he
you
becomes a good guy. And then the little child can, there's several
Admittedly, that gun is rather phallic.
faces, the Many Faces in this little toy, which change, but you know,
Looks like a horse cock.
you can become a skeleton creature and we could go around to the different faces. And this has got to have some kind of a message to the children.
Oh, definitely. It says you can be demon-possessed and still be good.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's what, you know, if you have a demon
Yeah, everybody likes a good anti-hero.
living within you and then you're playing on the good side, then that's the obvious inference there. This character here is called Stratos. They call him the Winged Lord. He has the ability to fly and to shoot
I don't remember this guy.
fire from his hands. You'll notice that he's a half man, half bird.
Yeah.
Now this is an inference from the gods of
Or as we call it, a herd.
the ancients. They're half men, half beasts. This particular one is the sun god Ra. He's becoming a very popular revival within the toy and cartoon series, as we'll see in some of the other cartoons later on.
We're going back to ancient pagan gods and forming our toys after them.
This whiny goon. Do you have like a bird voice or something? What was his name? Strator? He-Man. Stratos. We got a video of Stratos. Can we? Hey, I'm not going to play this. Oh, remember this? Remember this sound effect? Okay, where's Stratos? Here, let's see. I just want to hear his voice.
Wait a minute. This isn't a forest. It's a nest.
Oh, he just sounds like a normal dude. He just sounds like his name is Dave or something. Dave Stratos. Attorney at law.
This isn't a forest. It's a nest.
Right.
Oh my. What's our next toy here?
Well, we're going to take a look at some of the actual occult practices within the cartoon series, and part of the way I do that is to look at the comic books.
Well, was it Zorak? Wait, wasn't there He-Man? Zodak. Yeah, Zodak. Wasn't he kind of like a middle of the road dude or something? Like he wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. I don't know.
Come with them. This is the PowerPoint Dread. Now, in the PowerPoint Dread, we see Skeletor in a classic lotus position of meditation. Legs crossed, palms on the knees, with the palms out. He is levitating off the ground.
In a yoga-type position.
Right. He has a power being coming from...
No, there is a Zodak character on He-Man. That's what I thought maybe you were referring to.
his head holding a crystal ball. Crystal ball is used in necromancy or communication with the dead.
Right.
And he's talking about that
He's really got this figured out.
this crystal ball is the only thing that
I think he's clutching his crystal ball right here.
will allow him to focus all of his psychic energies. That's on the first page of one comic book.
I can't believe this. And so there's all kinds of occultic things happening right in the front of the comic book.
Zorak's from Space Ghost, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's from Space Ghost.
Book here. And now,
This one's the Magic Stealer. Now, in the Magic Stealer, Skeletor introduces the power of the pyramid cult. Now, he walks
I can't even make this out. The contrast is so awful.
to the center of the pyramid, he sits inside, and he starts to steal the power of Eternia. Now, Eternia is
It's driving me nuts that he's pronouncing it Eternia for some reason.
the good world they live in. And these are the powers that rule that good world. This fiery serpent, these fiery skulls, this gargoyle. Do you know what they call these things?
no, what?
The spirits of the air.
Spirit? Well, and
You fucking got him. Case closed. Hang it up, boys.
that's Ephesians 6.
He's so proud of himself, too. Look at that stupid fucking smug smile. I hate him.
12, isn't
Right.
it? Where we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual powers, spiritual wickedness, principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in heavenly places, the powers of the air,
Or the spirits of the air.
the spirits of the air, and the rulers of darkness of this world. So actually these cartoons are making real what Satan has had for a long time.
Right.
When I was brought up, I watched cartoons like Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck, Daffy Duck.
I imagine we could go in and overanalyze the shit out of Warner Brothers cartoons.
I mean, Elmer Fudd and all of the Looney Tunes. But today, there's a different kind of cartoon that's coming on our TV sets. And the question is there a well-organized plot, an insidious design right now to program and influence the minds of our children towards the occult and witchcraft? We see things like spell books and witches. And
It worked. It worked. I am a Satanist. You know, Satan is my God. Satan is my pal.
and zones of eternal evil and all kinds of demons in today's cartoons. And we're discussing today with our special guest, Phil Phillips. And Phil, I'd like to welcome you to the program. God bless you.
Oh, is this like a second half? Why'd you shake his hand again?
Phil comes from Texas, and Phil has
Which explains a lot.
been doing a tremendous intensive study of the cartoons that children view today. He's looked at the toys that they're buying in the toy stores, at the comic books that they read, and he's seen
Yeah, both of these men are hiding a lot.
that they vicariously live their lives through the
I mean, yeah, these guys got more closet. They got more skeletons going on than Skeletor ever would have.
these cartoon characters and toys. Now, if we miss the generation of youth that's coming up, if we do not minister to them, the Lord Jesus Christ, then we've lost the generation of tomorrow, and the Antichrist will have them.
Well, I think you lost them, and that's a good thing.
I believe the Antichrist is trying to program the minds of our youth, and he's getting his spell, his control on their minds, and today we're going to be talking about those youth. Now, in God's economy, children are very important, and I wonder, Phil, if the church is overlooking the children. Do you think this is happening?
Well, in church history, yes. The church has overlooked the children on many occasions.
I don't think so. I think the church focuses a little too much on the children, to be honest with you. We've got a long documented history of that.
Some people, in trying to put emphasis on the children, have said that children are the church of tomorrow. But that's not a true statement. Children are the church of today. They're an integral part of the body of Christ today. God has placed them within our bodies, and we have to make
Place
sure
them.
that they are healthy and spiritually alive.
Yes.
You see, children, their relationship to God is as important to God as our relationship to God.
Mm-hmm.
And this should motivate us toward ministry to the children.
Well, now we know that
He was very authoritative. Did you see that face right there? Wait, let's see if we can pause it.
Motivate us toward ministry to the children.
Look at that face, man. Is that not the face of a bitch or what, man? That dude, he's a bitch. Saucy little devil. He likes to give the chick at Subway a hard time when she doesn't put enough pickles on his sandwich.
Well, now we know that TV has become a babysitter for children. And when parents don't want to take responsibility for children, they send them to sit in front of their TV babysitter. How much time does TV take in the average child's life?
Well, in 1978, there was a study done that said children watched an average of 15,000 hours of television before they graduated from high school, while only spending 11,000 hours in the classroom. In 1984, the same study was done, and the figure is up to 22,000 hours.
Fuck yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm going to take a quick piss break. And then we'll come back with The Deception of a Generation. And if it gets too boring, thank you, Windows. Ah! Sorry about that. Here. Sorry about that. I'm a little rusty. Oh, come on. What happened? There it is. All right. Be right back from the pee break, piss break. Give you some slow jams. Possible background on Phil Phillips from Rational Wiki. So apparently Phil Phillips is the author of Turmoil in the Toy Box. I think this is the same guy. Halloween and Satanism, or that was Turmoil in the Toy Box. Was in 86, Halloween and Satanism 87, Saturday Morning Mind Control 91, and Dinosaurs, the Bible, Barney, and Beyond 94. Turmoil in the Toy Box is about the Smurfs, Care Bears, My Little Pony, He-Man, Mighty Mouse, Cabbage Patch Kids, and Rainbow Bright are all leading our precious children into ruin. The other three books speak for themselves. Halloween and Satanism includes some perhaps unwitting but still overt anti-Semitism on display in the author's choice of images and captions. Practically his entire repertoire of works fall under the 80s, early 90s Christian paranoia sensationalism market. They're also unmentionably bad. Citation not needed. His books were sold in every Christian bookstore. I was just going to say, like, that was probably the only place you could get this shit. Phil and his wife, Cynthia, have since authored a book on attention deficit disorder called ADD, Welcome to Our World, the book. It's based on Phil's personal testimony of finding out as an adult that he has ADD. They have also authored Miracle Parenting on the subject of biblical parenting, as well as Blogspot website entitled Miracle Families. So that's that. Also, I recommend, if you want to watch a potentially funnier review of the video we're watching tonight, The Cinema Snob, called DVDR Hell. I think it's on YouTube. It's pretty good. Those Cal City gays doing everything. Did I fucking... Oh my god. Hold on. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I thought I lost it. I thought I closed it out. Anyways, back to the video. So long, Orson. You know, I know you don't want to go. Well, you gotta go.
On the average in front of the television set. That's 1,000 hours a year increase. So with that and the 11,000 hours in school, we have 33,000 hours of total input into a child's life before he's 18 years of age.
22,000 hours, and a lot of that is taken
That's fucking crazy, Phil. Jesus.
up in cartoons. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Because we've noticed that the cartoons
Jesus shit blasting Christ, Phil. That's huge.
are not only just Saturday morning, but every afternoon. The children, they're at key times of the day when the children can watch them.
Well, a preschool-age child will watch between 22 and 26 hours of television a week. At any time, day or night, preschoolers make up 22% of the television viewing audience.
Now, when these children watch television, do they see it in the same way?
I'm very curious as to where he got these statistics from. It's the 80s, so there's like no way of independently verifying that.
That we as adults do, or are they affected differently than adults?
Children view television in a vastly different manner than adults do. In fact, until a child is about the age of 7, he cannot differentiate between fantasy and reality.
I notice the time of day has just always remained consistent in Glenn and Phil's world. It's always like 11 a.m. in Glenn and Phil's world.
Reality as it deals with the television. It's like you turn on the TV is when you open the drapes to your living room window and sit them down and let them view their neighbors. And they see what's happening outside. In fact, I was watching TV when I was about 2 years old and turned it on, and Lassie went running into a burning barn. And those words came on the screen that we've all come to hate, to be continued.
Oh, yeah.
And I was crying and very upset by this. And my dad was trying to comfort me and said, that's not real, that's just fantasy. But that didn't help because I believed it was real.
Yeah, basic cable kind of killed that off. But yeah, I remember my Saturday morning cartoons.
could not comprehend fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he finally faked a phone call to the TV producers to make sure she was okay, and that took care of it.
And then you thought Lassie was...
Yeah, it's kids don't really... I mean, it's better in a lot of ways, but, you know, we tend to think that our era was the best, but, you know, everybody's got their own perceptions.
okay because he supposedly called the producer.
Yeah, to make sure.
But what you're saying, Phil, is that the children cannot differentiate between that being a cartoon and fantasy. They think it actually represents a form of reality to them.
Yeah, and no matter how much you try to explain it to them, it's developmentally
Is there a rebroadcast of them on the screen?
beyond their capabilities to understand. Have you ever tried to tell a 3-year-old kid, we'll do it tomorrow? They're back an hour later pulling on your pant leg going, is it tomorrow yet?
All right.
It's beyond their capabilities to understand time.
So, being that children look at these things
Being a children.
as reality, how do they view a commercial?
Well, they view commercials as public service announcements.
As though it's a
How do you know that, Phil?
really a happening that's really true.
Oh, yeah.
I hate his mouth is just really bothering me. I can't get over his mouth. And look at those fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we ought to do right now is show a commercial or two. We've got a couple from Masters of the Universe and
Yeah, let's see some commercials.
also from Cookie Crisp. Let's watch those and we'll talk about
Sure.
those right now.
Okay. I want to see them tie Cookie Crisp into fucking into like devil demonic occult shit.
From an evil fog. Cyclone, use your whirling powers to investigate. Around and around I go. A whirlwind. Design Cyclone.
By the way, one of the things that really sold these toys back then was like all the little sets that they're playing in, right? Look at that. They got like a fog machine and like this really cool like, you know, mood lighting and like rocks and crystals and shit. That's what made the toys look cool. And then you get them home and you're like, why isn't this as fun?
Mr. Fly! You can't stop my whole evil arc when Cyclone spins. Evil never wins.
Meth always wins.
Cyclone, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. Each toy sold separately from
That just looked like a reskinned He-Man.
Mattel.
Forgot to over a Cookie Crisp. It's the Cookie Crisp.
Just checking the traffic.
Cookie Cook, this scheme to get Cookie Crisp isn't taking off.
Who can blame me? It looks like little chocolate chip cookies.
But Cookie Crisp cereal stays crispy in milk, and it's part of this complete breakfast.
See, when we were kids, we weren't allowed to get this shit. We were not allowed to get like the sugary shit cereals that had zero nutritional value. We had to get, we got all the, we had to eat like the good for you cereals, or at least the supposedly good for you cereals.
Well, Cookie Cook, it's time you started a new career.
Yes, this one's definitely winding down. If you like cookies.
Now, Phil, you're saying that as the children watch these cartoons or these commercials, they're influenced by what they see.
Oh, yeah. Children, you see it on Saturday morning. They become glued to the television set. In fact.
And got the bag generics. Yep. Nope. And I remember as soon as I was an adult on my own, like one of the first things I did was buy like a couple of boxes of like, I think I bought like Captain Crunch and like Cocoa Krispies, just all the shit cereal.
Television reacts on a physical body much like an addictive drug. It brings you in a depressed state, and you're watching it in this depressed state. You've heard the terms glued to the television.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that type of thing. But it's a physical reaction from your brain.
So now you're saying that the commercial ties also together with the toys, because we saw the Masters of the Universe, this Cyclone character that's just come out.
What I'm trying to show through these commercials is that when a child watches these about 30 times during...
I'm not convinced this is like a real hand. It's kind of like animatronic. It's always doing, it's like moving independently of the rest of them. It's weird.
A Saturday. He is programmed by the companies to be an advocate for their product. And that's when an intelligent mother walks out and buys a box of cereal that's over 50% sugar and feeds it to her kids, knowing full well that kid's going to bounce off the walls in 20 minutes. You know?
Because the child is going to be on her case and say, Mama, I want...
Well, look, I mean, that's up to the fucking parents. That's got nothing to do with your demonic Satan shit. Just don't feed your kids too much sugar and they won't be assholes.
I want to eat Cookie Crisp until she finally gets it.
Oh, yeah, you've never seen a commercial, cereal commercial for children during the Super Bowl or during 6 o'clock news. They don't care if you ever see it because they create an advocate within your home. Now, if they can do that with 30-second commercials, think what they can do with 30-minute cartoons.
Okay, now let's go for a second. Here's a box of cereal, and there's little characters on...
It's Rainbow Bright cereal.
On here, Rainbow Bright. Does this tie with any...
It's his demonic hand from Evil Dead 2.
Toys that are out?
Oh, yeah, they're starting to license a lot of the cereals to link with toys. And so it creates a greater desire for the toy. And
yeah, this is when they would make, like, different cereals, but it was just like something else. Like Rainbow Bright cereal was probably just like Lucky Charms, but it had Rainbow Bright marshmallows in it.
Cereal and other licensed products.
And here's another one, G.I. Joe, and we know that a lot of his...
Yeah, this is probably just like... It was just some generic fucking crunchy horse shit with sugar on it.
Characters are out right now. And the...
Who is this, like Asian? Oh, who is that guy? It's not Roadblock. Leatherneck. Is this like Asian Leatherneck right here?
G.I. Joe characters are getting occultic too, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're seeing this more.
Oh, look at your little hats. I made you some sandwiches. I made you.
More and more, and we'll show some of their characters a little later to show you just how occultic G.I. Joe is going. I think what we'd like to ask right now, Phil, is there any kind of character that the girls can relate to?
Well, there is.
Oh, what, the G.I. Joe PSAs? I gotta be careful. I can't laugh too hard because this cough is still haunting me. Play it.
It was Brad.
Huh?
Hey, Sup?
Susie, don't forget your sandwiches.
Hey,
I made
Sup?
you. Sandwiches. Oh, you boys look so lovely in your little outfits.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Lafitte?
Hey, watch me, Ollie.
Oh, I just want to eat you up.
Love the tattoo, Mr. Lafitte.
Look at all your different colored hats.
G.I. Joe!
Okay.
And her name is She-Ra, and there's another one that is out there that is for girls, basically, and that's Golden Girls. Now, girls watch the other cartoons, too. One thing I'd like to do is tie all this information up that we've given people. You see, all this stuff links to...
Pork chop sandwiches. Holy shit, get the fuck out. What the fuck are you doing? Wait.
You're not cooking.
Yeah, dude.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!
My God, did that smell good?
Detective, did you know going and you tell me do things I done running.
G.I. Joe! Oh my God.
Together. Because when a child watches the cartoon, they no longer, as we said in the first show, project themselves with their imagination into the toy and give it life, character, abilities, and talents and set the surrounding around it. They've been programmed by the cartoon to play with the toy in a certain manner. And so if the cartoon says that a character has occult powers, then when
That's horse shit. The cartoon did not program me to play with toys a certain way. I played with those fucking toys. We used to do the dumbest shit with those fucking toys. It had nothing to do with the cartoon. I mean, they got ran over. They got fucking blown up.
When the child plays with a toy, he is going to use that toy to cast spells or do whatever the toy does in the cartoon. And so he's programmed to play with the toy in a certain manner.
Well, let's take a toy, for instance. Then he'll take the little He-Man, and he'll begin to yell those words by the power of Grayskull. And
of Grayskull,
he'll begin to throw spells on people by his own...
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Imagination of powers, and really it gets the children looking into the occult for their powers. Is that correct?
Yeah. Creates a taste for the occult. And they play...
Demo a 3-foot hole in the bedroom? Was that when the Tonka trucks were still made out of metal? I think I was one of the last generations of kids that still remembers Tonka trucks being made out of metal.
With like Skeletor, and they levitate him, and then when they don't have the toys and they're on the playground, then they take on these characters in fantasy role-playing themselves, and they imagine themselves with these occult powers.
I got you. Well, let's go on now and show what the girls are identifying with, which is She-Ra.
Right.
Here's an opening to one of the She-Ra cartoons, and it shows her getting her powers also. Let's go to that.
What was that? What was that? Go back. Did you see it? What the fuck? Watch his eyes. He's like, oh shit, I fucked up.
And it shows her getting her...
Hey, can we... Hold on. Let's see if we can do this here.
Powers also. Let's go to that right now.
Adora, He-Man's twin sister and defender of the Crystal Castle. This is Spirit, my beloved steed. Fabulous secrets were revealed to me.
You know, I know She-Ra was pretty thick, too, man.
Day I held aloft my sword and said, for the honor of Grayskull!
I still think Tila was better, though. She's thicker.
Only a few others share this.
Oh, the horse just got wings.
Secret. Among them are Light Hope, Madame Raz.
Is that just like bullshit Orko? Madame Raz?
Secret. Among them are Light Hope, Madame
Bullshit Orko.
Raz, and Cowl.
And what the fuck is that?
Together, we and my friend.
Yeah, this guy here. Yeah, if you weren't sure if He-Man was gay-coded enough for you, She-Ra pretty much put the final nail in that coffin.
Friends of the Great Rebellion strive to free Etheria from the evil forces of Hordak.
Whoa, Hordak.
Well, there we saw She-Ra with the same kind of, she said, by the power of Grayskull. And Phil, as I'm watching this, I'm wondering, is She-Ra as a cultic?
Oh, I'm getting a warning here from my stream, so I got to skip ahead if they play some more copyrighted shit. I don't want to get banned. I think it was the She-Ra stuff. As
blatantly occultic into witchcraft as He-Man?
Well, the clip we have will show that she is, in some cases, even more occultic. What we're about to show in this next clip is a mystic competition on throwing and casting spells. And I think that would...
Grayskull was like the bijou. Yeah. That's where you could get the best poppers, was at Grayskull.
Be very interesting for the people to see now.
And this was taken right off TV. We didn't look for this. This was just the first thing we recorded.
Yeah, everything's been recorded.
Let's watch.
You went cruising at Snake Mountain, but yeah. But the party always kicked it up a notch at Grayskull, though.
It's the competition of witchcraft here in She-Ra.
Grayskull was like the Cal City of Eternia. Or no, Snake Mountain was the Cal City of Eternia. Hold on, I'm skipping this because I keep getting...
We're talking about Eastern religion. I mean, everything that has taken its basis from Hinduism and...
Actually, you know what? I'm kind of done with this. I'd say we go on to Showtime at the Apollo, unless there's something else you guys want to watch. Cruising Trailer, William Friedkin. Oh, yeah, I don't.
These victims are all the same physical
Yep,
type.
there he is. Amateur night. Okay. Well, let's go. Mark Curry, 1992.
Time for Amateur Night with Mark Curry. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Apollo Amateur
Let me know if the volume's good.
Night. I'm your host, Mark Curry, and we're going to kick in the rules. If we like to act, you can. It's up to you. If you don't like them, you can. It's up to you. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out first, Tarsha LaShawn Lee. Come on out here, Tarsha. Oh, how you doing? You're looking good. You're not nervous, are you?
No, I'm not.
You're squeezing my hand, though. What are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to sing If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle.
By Patti. No, you know Patti what?
Oh, jeez. How original.
Everybody say hello to Patti LaBelle. We love you, Patti. Okay, ready for you. If only you knew.
Rawr. Someone said Prince Henry was fine. Mm-hmm. Fine like a motherfucker. We're back to Frank Owens. Yeah, see, we're in that like weird area now, like post Sinbad, pre Harvey. Boy, Steve Harvey just like followed Mark Curry everywhere now. It's all coming together, man. Cat Williams is. I think he was on to something there. How much I pooed. Oh, the crowd is. Hey, I remember that guy. Did we play these before? I remember this guy. He's in one of the screen sluts. Oh, no. They're not liking her. Yeah, maybe he just loves that blazer. There's a bunch of Steve Harvey with Apollo kids. Unless there's another playlist, I don't know. I don't care. I'm surprised she got booed off, man. Like, I thought she would have just limped along.
All right, coming up next.
This again, like, kind of. I think they were a little harsher in the earlier episodes.
Raymond Edwards, we got a comedian. All right, ready to laugh.
Oh no, this is always bad. Comics always have a real rough time on here.
Guys ready to laugh? All right, come on out here, man. They ready for you. How long you been doing comedy, brother? About now.
Well, look, I went through Isaiah's YouTube page and I went through his playlist. If you go to his playlists, he's got like, You know, he's got like amateur night with Sinbad, amateur night with Steve Harvey, amateur night with so-and-so. And the first one, the one that I've been drawing from with Steve Harvey, like I've scrolled all the way through them and we've watched all of them. They're all like marked as watched. So unless there's like a second playlist, yeah, because there's like 3 Apollo amateur night with Apollo kids. No, excuse me. There's 5 playlists with Apollo kids. And then there's amateur night with Mark Curry. Apollo kids. Amateur night with Sinbad. Yeah, what the fuck, man? Apollo amateur night with Ralph Lewis Harris and Mark Curry. Yeah, Apollo amateur night with Steve Harvey. 52 videos. And apparently we've gone through... It says they're all marked as watched. Well, I know he was, but that doesn't mean like that all the videos are up there.
9 months. 9 months? Are you ready for it? Oh, you got Malcolm X right there. There you go. That's a good luck charm. We ready for you. Raymond Edwards. How y'all doing? Women actually.
Oh, they hate this dude's. Ugh.
Hurry up. You ain't funny yet. Hurry up. Because women be having them attitudes. I think women buy attitudes like they do deodorant. They be in the store be like, excuse me, give me 16 ounce of that attitude. Yeah, give me a big old box of that kiss my behind. Thank you.
Smartest comic ever.
More ounces of that attitude. Okay. Coming up next, Eric Davis, a rapper. All right, we needed this first rapper. We ain't had a rap in a long time. All right. How you doing, man?
Oh, they're already booing him.
All right. Now, through your rapping, you have a different style of rapping. You try to teach children. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, the song I'm going to do is called Another Day in the Neighborhood. You know what? We got to get some more peace in the neighborhood.
Oh, no, he's trying to do positivity rap. This ain't going to go over well.
That's what I'm about.
So you going to rap about peace in the neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
Are you from Colorado, man?
Nah.
Oh, you just got that on. All right.
Yeah, that was back in the 90s, man. You just wore, like, jerseys because whatever.
Ready for you. Thank you, my brother.
I remember in junior high school, man, everybody had, like, Charlotte Hornets jerseys on. Nobody was for fucking Charlotte. It just looked cool.
Rapping about peace in the neighborhood.
I was on a porch with my mom, conversating back and forth about the good old time. When I heard a shotgun go bang, another bang and another bang, like it ain't no thing. We jetted in the crib in a hurry, so damn fast they would make a photograph look pro. I didn't touch.
I don't remember this.
Oh! All right.
But so far, everybody's been booed off, though.
The amateur competition continues right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the world-famous amateur night at the Apollo. I'm your host, Mark Curry. Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to introduce the baddest band in the world. Frank Owen and the band. You ready, Frank?
I mean, if we watched this, this must have been like the very first time we watched it.
Look at that blazer Frank got on. Look, I love that. I hope you ain't got the pants in that blazer, Frank. We know they bell bottoms. There you go, looking like one of the spinners. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right, coming out next, a very good contestant, Ava Carey. Come on out here. What does that mean, a good contestant? Whoa.
We did watch this because I remember her. God damn it. Well, we might be running thin on... Because look at all these, man. I got them marked. Okay, let's see this one. This is Steve Harvey 92.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. And listen, we got to pay tribute to the main man. A lot of times you hear the music being played for all these amateurs. You wonder who's doing it. Well, the man in the house...
Oh, wait, let's play it. This is not the first video.
It's time for Amateur Night with Steve Harvey.
All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the world-famous Apollo Theater, and this is Amateur Night. I'm your host, Steve Harvey. We got some rules to...
He is looking a little thin up on top, though. That light, you can kind of see it now. See, now I'm looking for it.
To explain to you, and this is how it goes. First of all, we got 5 contestants going to come out here and do their thing. Hopefully they do it well. You, the Apollo audience, you are the judge. If you like them, you're going to do what? Now, on the other hand, if you think they need a few more hours in the bathroom mirror, you going to do what? Lord, Lord, Lord. Don't nobody want that. But anyway, you decide at the end of the show, the person with the most applause comes back next week. You ready for your first contestant? All right, y'all, the first contestant tonight is Denise Thomas.
Do it
show
over.
you love. All right, Denise, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
And where you from, Denise?
I'm from Washington, D.C.
That's all right. D.C., that's a good one. And what you gonna do for us tonight?
I will be singing in
Yeah, he needs a little GLH Formula number 9 back there.
Return by CC1.
I mean, look, hey man, I mean, I'm thinning too, but but I'm not lying about it.
All right, in return. That's all right. Well, you going out there, Denise. Give it up, y'all, for Denise Thomas.
All I had to give was a broken heart torn apart. All I had to give was an empty hope and promises. In return of a torn life, he'll give you life abundantly. And in return of a raging storm, the Lord will calm the sea. So whatever you have, the Lord has so much more. So what do you have to give? And so if you were like me,
She's getting like the golf claps. She's not like really blowing the crowd away here. It's like they don't want to boo her because she's singing gospel. Yeah, these were not in a playlist, though. These were kind of buried. So apparently he's got more Steve Harvey, but it's not in playlists. So, like, I have to take the time to, like, go through all of his shit and maybe make my own playlist. Ugh.
you didn't own what untold, but I'm glad you didn't look on
Oh,
the
she's wavering.
things that I had, but you looked on the things you were able to give me. Oh, for every time you give your joy.
Yeah, that chick, she's like, good and terrible.
That could never be told. And in return, you give you love that is more precious than gold. In return, he'll give you
Oh, he doesn't suck. He just doesn't have all of his stuff in playlists. So I'll just have to like sift through it.
All right, y'all, show your love one more
No, actually, the guy's YouTube uploads are insane. Like the guy has so much shit that he uploads.
time for Denise Thomas.
Oh, you can see that. No.
Time for Denise Thomas.
Yeah, he needs to get something going on back there. Yeah, some GLH for sure.
Out here singing for the Lord. That's all right. Your next contestant. How about a nice hand, y'all? All the way from San Antonio, Texas, for Trey Little. Trey Little, y'all.
Trey Little.
Ow! Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Trey, how you doing, brother?
Fine.
I understand you won at a radio station. What contest were you in?
It was the inner city for San Antonio, KSJL.
KSGL out in San Antonio, Texas?
Yes, sir.
What you gonna play for us tonight, Trey?
I'm gonna play a song by Luther Vandross, Here and Now.
Luther? They
Vandross.
like Luther. You got it. Show him your love, y'all. Give it up for Trey Little. Here and Now.
Well, what do you want to bet? He climaxes a song by doing like a doodly 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 doodly. He doodly doodlies it. Or he just holds a note for a long time. Well, because he's not technically bad. I mean, he's playing. He's a competent player. He's playing the notes. It's just, you know, it's just whatever. Promise to love faithfully. Yeah, he is the most. He is the saxophone player. Come on. He didn't overdo it.
For Trey Little, San Antonio, Texas. Luther Vandross here and now. Boy, had that horn screaming. I like that. All right, y'all, we got a 3-minute.
Yeah, he didn't overdo it. I'm impressed.
A singing group coming out, and why don't y'all make them feel real welcome? How about a big hand, everybody, for Sergey?
Sergey.
Right?
Oh, boy.
That's that. Y'all kicking. That's y'all. How y'all doing, man? All right. What's your name, brother?
My name is Preston. Dandro. Diamond.
And where you brothers from?
Diamond?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. What y'all gonna do for us tonight?
We're gonna sing.
Okay, what you gonna sing?
End of the road.
You got it, brother. Go ahead out there and lay it out.
Oh, wait. There you go.
Girl, I know you really love me.
Choreographed dances.
You never been there before. It's only your first time. Baby, I forgive you. Baby, I forgive you. Maybe you try. Maybe you try, baby. We should be happy together forever. You and I. When I can't sleep at night without holding you tight. Girl, least time I try, I just break down and cry. Pain in my head, oh, I'd rather be dead. Spinning around and around. So I'll wake up to the end of the road.
Yeah, that was rough.
It's unnatural. You belong to me. I belong to the end of the road.
And like every prom at that time had this fucking song on the playlist.
It's unnatural. for you, you know what I'm saying? So I want to do. Come on to the end of the road. Peace of the road. Thank you. Peace. Thank you.
The amateur competition continues after this.
They really thought they nailed that.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. And listen, we got to pay tribute to the main man. A lot of times you hear the music being played for all these amateurs. You wonder who's doing it. Well, the man in the house know every song in the book. Y'all show your love for the house master, Frank Owens, and the boys in the band.
I will say Frank Owens, I think their Sandman theme is superior, though. Frank Owens, yeah, I think they have the better Sandman theme.
Hey, Frank, why don't you tell us the band's name, man? What's the brother?
Yeah, it's Jimmy Young on drums, Rodney Jones on guitar, Francisco Santana on bass.
Oh, Francisco Santana. All right. Yeah. All right, now I feel right at home. All right, y'all, we're going to get back and get this thing going. How about a big hand, y'all, for Brad Trackman. Brad Trackman.
Trackman, oh boy. Oh boy. You could not have found the whitest dude here. Here we go.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Brad, where you from?
From New York City.
All right. Well, that's good. Okay, what I already know what you're gonna do. Just going out there. Anybody inspire you, or how'd you get started playing the drum?
My brother had a set when I was like 4 years old. I just started playing it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, you go ahead, Brad. Do a good job. Go on, rock that.
We got drums here. Okay, let's see this.
Brad.
Oh shit. You better lay down the booty bass, Brad. Yeah, the crowd. You got to lay down the booty bass with this crowd. Come on, Brad. Yeah, he's got to slow it down, man. He's got to dig in deep. Slow down, Brad. I hope he gets kicked off and Sandman gets up there and starts fucking just beating the shit out of the drums.
Woo! All right. Brad Trackman, y'all. One more time. Boy, that's a rough job there. All right, y'all, we're going to get it going again. How about a nice hand? Show your love for last week's winner. Big hand for Ava Carey.
Does she have on the same fucking dress?
Ava Sharp. How you doing, Ava?
Thank you. I'd like to thank the radio station back home in Chesapeake, Virginia, Touch 96.
Ava, I want to know where you get your dresses from.
Different.
Okay, we understand. Okay, all right. Out the trunk of somebody's car. That's all right, baby. Big hand, y'all, for Ava Carey. Come on, y'all.
Well, we watched the episode where she won. This is her returning episode.
I will endure all the time. We got to hold together through the worst condition.
I have not been impressed with anybody tonight.
We knew it to be one of a kind.
It sounds like she's sitting on top of a dryer, like a washer during the spin cycle.
As it grew into this love of legend, she we both made sure this dream from heaven it would endure in eternity. For its strength was made of love, faith, and trust.
She got that Maytag vibrato. Yeah, those jiggle, those weight loss belts.
We keep hanging on to make it even stronger. True love will never die.
She's first off, again, she's trying too hard. The crowd's not super impressed with her, but they don't totally hate her. Ugh. Whatever.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Come on, y'all, show your love one more time. Ava Perry, singing it.
She ain't no doobie, man. That's for sure.
Singing it. All right, it's time. Let's bring back all the contestants. Let's get them all back out here. This is going to be a tough one, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, some talent up here tonight. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Out. All right, this the one right here. Oh, yeah. Lord, Lord, Lord. Ain't no room in there, Kiki.
What is going on with that thing? Holy shit.
Ain't no room in there. That's all right.
Oh, she lost her.
That's all right. Yeah, sure wish it was me. All right, y'all. Let's hear it for Denise Thomas.
Nah.
Let's hear it for Trey Little.
I think you're right. Sax guy or end of the road guy. Yeah, these guys might get it.
Let's hear it for Sergey.
Yeah. Let's hear it for Brad.
Brad Trackman. Ava Carey.
Whitest name on the planet, Brad.
We have a winner, Sergey in the house.
They ain't no doobie.
That man right there. Sergey! Oh, Serge. Whatever. They done won. We'll be back, y'all, with more Showtime at the Apollo.
Oh. I was not satisfied with that, so I think we're going to end off tonight's show with some doobie. Because I was disappointed in that amateur night.
Chuck Dobie. Guster.
Well, what you wanna do? I'm still waiting on you.
Well,
girl, there's something wrong with me. Every time I'm alone with you, you keep talking about you and me. Hey, babe, your poor place blows don't you stop all the talking, girl? Why don't you stop wasting time? Oh, I had my
Oh my God! Look at her. She's all over him. Oh.
If you think you can turn me out, girl, I just wish that you would. Cause you just, oh, you just, now you
I remember this because he was one of the later guys to go on. Yeah, he was the last dude to go on, and the crowd was hungry for somebody good. Like, it was all timing with Doobie. This was one of them later Barry White songs, right? Because this song was pretty hot at the time he sang this. I want to say this song came out about a year prior. Fuck you. That's what Steve should have been like. Fuck y'all. Get the fuck out of here. All right. All right, guys. I think it's a good time to cut it short. The triumphant return of the plump. Actually, let's end with something a little bit more. I want to thank Phil Phillips, Glenn, what was his last name? I forget. I want to thank Skeletor, Manny Faces, Beastman, She-Ra, Orko. I want to thank Fisto. Yeah. I want to thank Steve Harvey's hairpiece. I want to thank Mark Curry. I want to thank Doobie. Sorry. Yeah, his man unit. I want to thank Frank Massey. One of these days, we're going to get more episodes of Stairway to Stardom. I don't know when, but one day, somebody's got a cache of that shit on VHS somewhere in their basement. Anyways, until next time, I should be feeling better by then. Less coughing. Till next time, guys, have fun all of the time. Have a good time all of the time.
But after the
you have a slight accent, which is...
That's beautiful.
How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America.